let me do this real quick. This is one of my better drawings, and I want you to see it.
That's a roll of duct tape. Okay, so this is a car. Oh. This is a square car, but it is a car. So give me that. Okay.
Getting batteries.
There's two people in the front seat and one in the back seat. Coach, you're in the back seat.
Powerful, powerful. Okay, so Jesus is in the, this is awful when you're in, British type countries. But Jesus is in the driver's seat, and the receiver is in the passenger seat, and you, coach, are in the chaperone seat. Most, or maybe all, of Christian ministry is Jesus and the coach building a relationship, and then the coach gives the leftovers to the receiver. Sorry. But I like to be the one that's doing the sermon because I know I'm getting 10 times what I can give them. I mean, I'm not trying to be crass, but, I'd rather be doing the sermon because I'm getting a lot more than it's going to be, interesting. Oh, somebody forgive me on that. So I forgive you. Okay, good. But, you go into any kind of ministry, and they may or may not be, but the idea is the coach is getting stuff from God to do with you or to tell you. So sometimes, and we kind of fool around with this, but sometimes the actual thing is that the coach is driving, right, and Jesus is in the back seat. Sometimes the coach is driving and Jesus is running alongside. And sometimes there ain't no Jesus there. All right? So when you think about the two of them having a date, the date is with the driver and the receiver, and you, chaperone, are promoting their relationship. That's all you're supposed to be doing. Isn't that wonderful? You don't have to be psychoanalyzing. You don't have to be knowing more than you know. You don't have to be responsible for where you go. You're just in the back seat helping them have a relationship. That's the hardest part of Immanuel, is for you to be the chaperone and not the star. You aren't the healer. You aren't number one. Sorry. Relationship is between them. Now, we can take over, we can grab the wheel, and oftentimes we do. We grab the wheel, and we say, Jesus, could you please get in the back seat or out of the car or something, because I have something better for that person than what you're doing. Or you're not doing it fast enough, and I know where they should go, so I'll just take the wheel. Sometimes you have receivers that grab the wheel. They come in and they say, well, this is how I pray, and this is what I want to do, and I'm going to talk to you. You'll run, if you haven't run into that, you will. Just know that's the receiver grabbing the steering wheel, and it's really not theirs, it's Jesus's. So you, as chaperone, are in charge, we'll talk more about this, of the process, the framework, the structure of the session. And that's it. After that, Jesus does all the neat stuff. Okay, everybody got really quiet there. But I've had people be exposed to this model of Immanuel and say, I want to do more. Okay? So, Jesus, move over, because I want to be the star. It's like you're not the star in Immanuel. And when people leave, just like they leave seminars, they leave the office after a session, they are not enthralled with me. Because next to him, it just, who cares? Right? I mean, that's the truth. But let Jesus actually knows more than you do. He knows what's going on in there, and he cares more than you do. So this is the wonderful part of Immanuel, and the startling part of Immanuel is Jesus is actually there, and he's actually in charge. And you watch the time, make sure they have Kleenex, You do all that good stuff so that there's a framework. Okay, good, Ellie. And, that kind of a thing. But basically, you're connecting them together. So if you listen to a session, which you will, we'll do some demonstrations. You're going to hear me say over and over again, Jesus still there? Where's he? What are you doing with, tell him. Don't tell me. I'll be listening, but you tell him. I'm promoting their relationship. That's my job in Immanuel as a coach. And you know what? People are glad because they get so much more out of it.